what's going on, friends and family? My name is Skylent, and you know I have this huge passion and love and history, actually, with free-to-play games. Much like many of you, I started out, like games like RuneScape, and moving on to like Guns of the Duel. Oh my god, you don't like the video if you played that game. Still, we need a proper successor to that. The closest thing is like Warframe PvP. That's not really. Anyways, there's a lot of really fantastic older titles that have not lasted, and that sucks. And this video is not about those, but this video is about actually the longest lasting ones. Not just the ones that have technically been online, but the ones that are actually really freaking popular, debatably thriving right now. Some of them at their absolute peak that they have never even seen or could even have conceived of originally. It's really, really exciting to see free-to-play as a whole, just a community, actually, that we're growing here and on my other channel called Free For All, which is more journalistic. But anyways, I'm just really excited to see the future, but it's really cool to see the past also being a part of my future. Really, it's really cool to be nostalgic of these games and those experiences, and then just, the big old smile on my face thinking like, oh yeah, you guys can just jump into these games today. So yeah, you should if you haven't. But let's do it. Here's the list. The longest lasting games of the past decade. The free-to-play that are pretty decent. There's something. Okay, now I was being silly, but let's start it out. We're gonna go chronologically, if that's cool with you guys. I try to find games that are about 10 years old. So these games, yeah, at least their development is 10 years old. They might technically have released like 9 years ago, but whatever, guys. We got DC Universe Online, and it's really surprising to me when I found out that this thing is older than Team Fortress 2. What? DC Universe Online launched free-to-play January 2011, and this game is one of the most action-packed MMOs that I've played, and graphically, it's kind of stunning in a way. I really enjoyed. I'll just make the Flash character, and I'll just run around. I'll just literally like run around, bounce around, and it's just a joy. And when it comes to the other superhero MMOs, it is by far much more popular. And now, especially because it's on PlayStation 4, and they just launched on the Switch. And while on PC, if you look on Steam, the player count is pretty low compared to stuff like Final Fantasy or something like that. Every other game on this list is technically vastly more popular in terms of world conquerage, but DCU is still pretty good. I think it's a good start to the list, and if you haven't played this game because it looks cheesy, it is cheesy, but I think it's really fun. I don't know. Okay, next up is Team Fortress 2. Came out June 2011, at least for the free-to-play version. Now keep in mind, my list is, I could put like really old games, like EVE Online could make the list, but it wasn't always free-to-play. It only kind of just recently went free-to-play, etc. Like StarCraft is technically free. No. Team Fortress 2 has been free-to-play since June 2011, and we know the story. Okay, so they added the hats, they added the costumes, they did the crazy events, they constantly expanded the game. With the tool set, they actually updated the engine as well. That's around the time when I started playing, actually. Man, I had so much fun. I was in Full Sail University for video game design, and I was downloading just a bunch of games. I got my new MacBook Pro. Team Fortress 2 was the game that I really grinded. I had a blast. Pyro Life was the life for me, and I really loved Man vs. Machine, in which I just engineered, but whatever. Man vs. Machine is still a great reason to play Team Fortress 2 today, and it's still just a fun freaking game. Yeah, people will like Overwatch totally, completely dominates any sort of esport that Team Fortress 2 could ever hope to have, but in terms of just a really silly casual game, oh my god, Team Fortress 2 is great. And next up, we've got Realm of the Mad God, which by its graphics, yeah, I mean, it looks like an old game, but it was really, really innovative even today. Like, how many games are like this? There's actually a few, but they all failed, pretty much. Realm of the Mad God is, well, it's golden. It's a rogue MMO. These games are famous, right? I mean, that's why I'm doing this video. They're the longest lasting, like, most famous games in their genres. Anyways, but Realm of the Mad God, for a genre of a rogue MMO, a bullet hell, with its open questing style, and the fact that you actually work together with the entire server to go and kill, the big bad boss. It's so cool. I also like the fact that, you kind of grind, you level up, and then you die, and then you get a restart, and you get a new class, and you have to kind of earn achievements in order to get the next class specifically. That's a pretty cool way of doing progression. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about the graphics. Hopefully they kind of do a refresher. I heard that some people want to remake the game in Unity or something like that. I don't know. Somebody correct me in the comments below. Maybe I should do my due diligence. Fuck that. But Realm of the Mad God definitely is a game that I hope continues to grow and evolve in the future. Yeah, next we have World of Tanks. Came out August 2010. World of Tanks has gone on for a while. Now, when it first came out, I was a Battlefield boy, okay? So I really liked the pseudo-physics-based gameplay, I guess, in the older Battlefields, and then moving forward, especially Bad Company, things like that. But yeah, World of Tanks, I came in a little bit late, but even then, the game just looked kind of weird. It played very arcade. Like, it wasn't like a actual combat simulator. Like, it had like all these arcade mechanics and RNG mechanics, and it just felt very weird. It was very slow paced. I didn't understand. It's like, well, I would just play Battlefield. Anyways, now I know better. World of Tanks has so many deep mechanics. World of Tanks also looks a lot better. They updated the graphics. They've added so many tanks, so many balancing, and it's actually a very competitive game. But it's also a huge grind, debatably pay to win. And actually, fun fact, I had an account that had literally everything unlocked on it. That's true. That's a fact. And I still did not play World of Tanks. But I still think it's a really cool game, but I would rather play War Thunder right now. I'm just more of a mixed combat kind of boy. That's just me. But I really appreciate World of Tanks, and when I played it, I actually had a lot of fun when I gave it a second chance, and I think you guys should too. Next up, we got League of Legends. We got that League of Legends. League of Legends came out in October 2009. And when I first played, I think it was the beta. It was the beta, or the game just came out, and I got Warwick. I played as Warwick, and I just died 3 times in a row because, like, I just didn't get the game. Just like any of you, first time you play a MOBA, you feed. That's what you do. You either feed or you just sit on a tower, not really playing the game. And I just didn't get it. You know, I was getting outplayed. I didn't, because I'm a mechanical player, and I did play PvP in World of Warcraft and other MMOs and like Guns the Duel and things like that. But League of Legends, dude, I didn't get it. So yeah, I came back 2 years later, season 2, gave it a shot again. You know, played some Vagar, and you know, I still kind of didn't get it. But season 3, I finally came back. My friends made me. I started working with a free MMO station, so I needed to review MOBAs. It was time to really pick up the pace, and I started playing different characters. I had a horrible time with some, but then finally certain ones click, you know? And you start to kind of get the core gameplay loop. And that's really when MOBAs come to life, when you realize you do suck, and you are going to feed, and things like that. And the whole point of the game is the learning experience, then you're going to have a blast. So then, yeah, with League of Legends, I started playing Dawn Gate and a few other Smite, things like that. And that's it. Dota 2 came out. It's great. But League of Legends has updated itself so significantly. The art style, the graphics, the gameplay. It's so mechanical. It's so intense. There's no other MOBA that really can compete with it in what League of Legends does. There's some that have tried, and now you can't even remember their names. Like Dawn Gate. You remember? Anyways, it's a great game. It totally deserves, you know, with the esport focus that it has, totally, oh my god, deserves all the attention. Some people don't. Some people thinks it doesn't deserve it. Dude, I think you just haven't found your character. I would suggest you play Thresh or Yasuo or Lee Sin, some of the more hyper mechanical characters. Play some of those guys, and you'll see League of Legends is insane. Okay, next up we've got Crossfire. Now, this is the first game on the list that is not popular, kind of-ish, in the West. I mean, yeah, you'll find a lot of people playing it, for sure, compared to some games. Especially, like, its competitors. Like, I don't think anybody plays Ava anymore. But Crossfire is much bigger in the East. It is a huge behemoth in China. So just please keep that in mind for this. But anyways, this is one of the longest lasting games. May 2007, it released. And even then, it was a knockoff game, pretty much. But more or less, it's solid. I don't know, today, I really don't like this game. I'm just going to come out and say that. I don't like this game. But they are coming out with a Crossfire X, which is supposed to really kind of push Crossfire to the West. But just to me, you know, I was a Halo boy. I liked Halo a lot. Battlefield. I liked a lot of like AAA shooters and things like that. And I really like Guns the Duel, so I really like these more fantastical games. And in fact, I totally bypassed Counter-Strike because I was like, it's just not bombastic enough for me. It's just not big enough for me. So I really missed out on some stuff. But I actually did play Crossfire a little bit, and I got my ass kicked constantly. This game is hyper competitive, and again, it's huge in China. And that's pretty much all I can say. That's all I can really say. I still think it looks like shit, sounds like shit, and I don't think they really updated the game enough. But then again, I guess they didn't really need to, because they just be making a lot of money, and it's still just freaking huge. Dungeon Fighter Online. We just made a video talking about this. Action RPGs that no one plays, because similar to Crossfire, but more so, this is a very, 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 very niche game in the West. In America, it's pretty hard to talk about it with some people. But August 2005, it came out, and it's a worldwide phenomenon if you consider the East. China, Japan, Korea especially, it's so influential when it came to specific like manga or manhwa, comics, games, mechanics, MMOs, action RPGs, well, beat 'em ups, anime. It's huge. It's huge. It's incredibly influential. Apparently, it's an amazingly mechanical game, and there's a lot of depth to it. But if you just kind of look at it, like the trailers and things like that, really reminiscent of something like MapleStory or L-Sword or a bunch of other side-scrolling beat-em-up games. It just looks like a bunch of numbers, and it looks like a bunch of spam. But apparently, it's an incredibly deep game. Though it does seem dubious. Some people are claiming that it's pay to win, that its shop is a little bit weird. I know it went through a couple of re-releases, so that's what has me a little bit weary. And when I first downloaded it and tried it, I deleted it instantly because it just looked dated. I didn't feel like they tried to modernize it enough for a service, but apparently it's just that dang on good and solid and deep that it's just still one of the most popular games on the planet, just not in the West, ever since 2005. Okay, guys, 2003, April, we got that MapleStory. Yeah, I mentioned it. This game was really cutesy. I actually know a lot of people who used to play this game. It really kind of fell out of the limelight, though, when it came to the West, but it's actually still really popular. Don't get me wrong. It's like, people still play it. Now there's a mobile app, though, MapleStory M, that you can play. But MapleStory, God, is one of those games where, even more so than Dungeon Fighter Online, just feels really, really, really dated. I kind of hate the art style. Frankly, like I actually hate it. It doesn't just look bad, like it is bad. Okay. Anyways, MapleStory is one of those cute games that a lot of people have played very socially. It's kind of a cute game to grind in, but it's like a serious grinder. So like some people had I really liked their animations. They actually had some cool animations, like literal animes. I don't know, like little cinematics or whatever. And there's apparently story with the classes that whenever I attempted to play the game. But MapleStory, maybe I'll play the mobile version. I can give that a shot because MapleStory 2 sure ain't being played. But I don't know. I don't know. For this one, I don't see how someone can play a game for so long. I'm just going to be honest. But then again, I still play RuneScape, so maybe I'm just missing the point of MapleStory. If you guys can tell me the point of MapleStory, let me know in the comments below. But to me, it just kind of seems like a game that you can just kind of grind on with friends. But it also seems like a really good place to meet and make friends somehow. Maybe I should give it a shot. And now our last game, I have RuneScape, our #1 longest lasting free-to-play game. And this one's totally cheating, 100% cheating to an extent, because RuneScape originally spawned as it was like RuneScape, I guess you could say classic, now that we know it as that. And that basically was what is now the free-to-play zone of RuneScape, a little bit less so. And it looked really fucking different. January 2001, RuneScape released, but the kind of the peak of RuneScape, 2007, is what most people remember. Obviously, that came out a little bit longer ago, but that's actually RuneScape 2. So the old school RuneScape, that's the second version of RuneScape. And it's kind of weird, but the second version of RuneScape now has evolved into RuneScape 3, and now we have old school RuneScape. I don't know, it's all sorts of confusing, but I'm putting it as my #1 because it's also my favorite. It's a game that, despite its graphics, or maybe because of it, actually, it's so freaking good. You know, and it's weird, but the point and clicking mechanics are actually seriously competent. You know, it's weird because the game is totally point and click, and it's 100% point and click. And you would think PvP would be garbage. You know, it's like, you just click on someone and that's it. I used to think that about League of Legends as well. But actually watch, like seriously, go look at the championships, because RuneScape is like debatably the biggest like esport freaking MMO. That actually has MMO esportages. Actually look at the mechanics and the combos people do with the weapon switching and the clicking. It's like, it's legit. It's ridiculous. Now, RuneScape quests, they're the best. Hands down, they're the best. They're timeless. I don't give a fuck what the graphics look like. The quests and the writing are timeless. And then, you know, the puzzles, and then add in the charm of old school RuneScape. It's amazing. And actually, because of the isometric camera angle, there's actually there's a hilarious quest that kind of makes fun of the gameisms, you know, like the mechanics of the game, the fact that it is an MMO. It's basically, this is the Deadpool of MMOs. And in my opinion, I'm just gonna come out and say this right now. If somebody asked me, what's the best MMO on the planet? I very quickly, with very little hesitation, I would say RuneScape. I really think it is. For what makes MMOs great, RuneScape is that. And it always has been that. And it has only become better. Debatable. RuneScape 3, you know. But the fact that they listen to the audience when it comes to old school RuneScape is amazing. So, old school RuneScape, and I play it on my phone. Maybe it's kind of cheating because they have so many versions of the game, but at the same time, I think we should applaud that as well, that they keep going through and evolving. Sometimes they go in the wrong direction, but, you know, sometimes they do it real good like. And they keep on doing it. Won't stop. RuneScape forever. 6 seasons in a movie. All right, guys, that was just my sort of ramble on, you know, the past 10 years has been really fantastic for me. I thought to kind of celebrate it, we could do a couple of videos, and one of those was, you know, this idea, longest lasting free-to-play games. Yeah, so I've actually got a channel called Free For All, which is a journalistic channel that will show trailers, upcoming, you know, if you want to learn about new free-to-play games, stuff like that, or when a game goes free-to-play, then, you know, I'll upload it and do that and cover it on that channel, Free For All. Hopefully that gets big enough I can start hiring people to do reviews and stuff on there. That'd be really neat. But anyways, guys, I love free games, and I always have, and I have a long history with them, just like you guys. So I'd love to know your histories with, you know, these games or more in the comments below. Much love, guys. Keep the hype alive, and I'll see you again next time.